And dude, I ran into 3 people I used to work with.
Yeah,
when I was a
wow.
mechanic, yeah.
How funny.
And I saw them and they are doing exact same thing they were doing when I was there. Exactly the same thing. Like nothing's changed.
That's not to say they're not good at what they're doing.
No.
It's not to say they're sleeping and they've just been there for 10 years. Like they've
also
got their job because they're competent at what they do.
Yeah, but it's also comfort.
Oh, huge. And that's probably what creeps in, I think, with people, especially when you've been somewhere for a while.
That's commitment though, as well.
Yeah,
you
isn't
want
it?
those people in your business.
Yeah.
What do you think you wouldn't be doing now that had you not worked there or been the employee you were? Like, what are the skills you learned directly from them that you still do today?
It was a very much sink or swim scenario. Like, you were put in high pressure situations from an early stage that it toughened me up and also gave me just that appreciation of what a hard day's work is.
The hard work.
I think it's more the persistence, like the constant moving forward, like just always doing something.
Business is risky.
People don't think about it enough. There's just a huge level of comfort, but also I reckon there's a huge level of I'll never achieve that.
Roll the dice.
You have to take risks. You have to go out and do things.
Don't get too comfortable. You know, I went to the pharmacy this morning because I am crook.
Why'd you come to work?
I thought about calling in sick.
You should have called in. Who would you call?
Huh?
Just call someone?
Just leave myself.
Just leave yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Robbie.
text myself. I was coughing bad in the shower this morning. And I was like, dude, if I was an employee now, I would probably call in sick.
It's funny you mentioned that. I said that to someone today. When I had my hernia operation, I had the operation on Friday, and on Monday morning at 7 a.m. I was in the office.
Yeah.
Like in the office. I was limping. Like I was, and I thought to myself, had I been an employee, I would have taken that week off. And probably would have trickled into the next one after that too.
I'm going to take the week off just from hearing the story.
So it's funny how your priorities change.
Yeah, dude, I was like, I felt so shit that I was coughing in the shower and I'm like, man, like, I really don't feel great. I was like, I'm going to go and I'll reschedule my whole afternoon and I'm just going to go do what, that's why I messaged you saying, hey, how early can you do the podcast? Because I was like, I need to knock
get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way. And then I'm just going to go and just rest.
You feeling better now though?
Let me finish.
Oh shit.
So I go to the chemist and I'm like, hey, I came here the other day. I got some cold and flu tablets. They're not working. I want the over-the-counter ones. I've heard this story about these over-the-counter.
Yeah.
The ones they keep behind the shelf. You know the ones they ask you for your license for?
No, never heard this story.
You never heard this? Okay. So I've heard it from a few people. And then someone told me the other day, like, you should get them. And I was like, okay. So I went there this morning, got them. Fucking gold.
Feeling $1 million.
I feel I can breathe.
Yes, there you go.
Feeling $1 million. I might live on these.
How good's that?
Yeah, I can go for a run.
I'm not going to, but
I was gonna, I'll talk about it. But yeah, very surprised at how much they brought me back to life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was not well. Like I was like,
see, it's funny. My missus is the type that she'll just slog it out. She doesn't want to take anything. I'm like, why?
But these are just symptom relieving. They don't actually kill you.
Yeah.
They just give you what you need to go through it. They're not like antibiotics. They're just, it's just like, the guy said, he's like, your heart might race. And I was like, what do you mean?
It races anyway.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I go, what do you mean? He's like it might increase, you might feel like, because it can increase your blood pressure. I said, is it like having too many coffees? And he goes, yeah. And I said,
got a coffee.
So I'm going to have this and coffee.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it with a coffee. Yeah. And now look at me. You wouldn't even know.
Wouldn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know until you told me.
You didn't know when you walked past and I had the Vicks thing hanging out of my nose?
I didn't even notice. It's just another day in the office.
Yeah.
There's not much that surprises me about you these days.
You were surprised before?
I was surprised that you were sick when you didn't look it.
Yeah, so here I am.
Here you are. And
feeling dandy.
when you were, when I was an employee, I didn't take sick days. I know you said back in the day when you first started, you were like,
was an apprentice?
You were like,
someone out of sick days.
Yeah, that's right. You're just like, how many have I got? Oh, cool. I got 10 to use for the year. Great.
Cool. I got 10.
Yeah. Plus my 4 weeks annual leave. So I do that. You're adding up, calculating everything in your head. Yeah, I never did. I was always the type of person of employee that would work. Came in, did my thing, worked hard, wore it almost like a badge of honor. Do you know what I mean? I don't take days off. I fucking Going to keep working hard. But you see, I feel that has put me in a really good position in my professional career as well.
Why?
Because I always got promoted before others. I always got the best jobs. I always got to work with the best teams because people wanted me on their team. So when I was working for other companies, the senior people within the organization would want me to work for them. We want George on our team. We want George to do work on this project with us because I was a performer and I didn't take days off and I was reliable. And then I carried that on really into every organization that I went to. And then there's a level of that here too. It's your own business, so it's a fair bit different in that regard.
It's very different.
Yeah, the buck stops with you.
Yeah.
But, I look for it. I look for that spark in my employees as well. Is that unfair?
No.
Yeah, I just...
Is it unfair? I don't think
like for me to have that expectation because
Well, looking for a spark and having an expectation of chalk and cheese.
Yeah, true. But I want to see it there. Do you know what I mean? I see it sometimes, but I just want to see that person that's like, you got it. You got it. You get it. You understand the game.
Yeah. I also think there is an element of if they understood it well enough,
They'd be out on their own.
they'd be out on their own.
Most people would, but there are a lot of people who have that about them and are probably not going to ever be really good at running a business, but they would be an amazing number one or number two at another organization.
How do you find those people?
I don't know. I don't know. It's very hard, I think. I think it's rare to have them. But yeah, I do think it's difficult. And yeah, that's not to say I don't have them in my team now. I see the sparks, but I also see the level, just I don't know what the word is. It's not lazy,
commitment.
but I'm going to say, yeah, commitment maybe. There's times where the commitment isn't there. But then there's other times, there's other times when it is.
Is that because it isn't or it's not at the level you want it to be?
Probably
Because commitment's a spectrum.
not. Yeah, that's right.
It's not a I am or I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like a how committed are you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not, yeah.
The other day, one of my employees particularly has been working really hard for good 3 months. And we were talking. I said, oi, just side note. I said, I really appreciate everything you've done over the last 3 months. You've worked really hard, and the fact that we're at these positions in these jobs is vastly because of the effort that you've put in. So well done. And, me saying that to him meant so much. Like I could see how much that meant to him, for me to say that to him and to acknowledge how hard he had been working, because he has. And that's the spark. That's the shit I'm talking about. Like they're the things that I can go, cool, I can rely on this guy. When things are tough, I know I can call you. I know you'll be there. I know you will do this. So I want to, when I look to employ people within the organization, it's very hard to find that spark at the start. You know what I mean? I think you've got to go through the process to see how good they are. But I think for me, it's a quality that I want to really focus and hone in on.
You just reminded me of something that took me back yesterday, but took me back years. I went and I had a meeting with my old boss yesterday to go potentially do some work with Mercedes-Benz.
Yep.
Okay, so I went and sat down with him. I went to a new dealership that I hadn't been to, Mercedes-Benz Brighton. And I was there and he's like, come, I'll show you around.
Did they not have one there?
They did, but they've moved.
They've moved to Brighton?
They've actually moved out of Brighton.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, it's now in Moorabbin.
Yeah, right.
But it's Mercedes-Benz Brighton. But yeah, it was a new dealership, new wish. And he's like, come, I'll show you around, man. This is really different. And he shows me around and he took me to the workshop. And dude, I ran into 3 people I used to work with.
Yeah,
when I was
wow.
a mechanic, yeah.
How funny.
And I saw them and they are doing the exact same thing they were doing when I was there. Exactly the same thing. Like nothing's changed. Live in the same life.
How many years?
I left Mercedes first time. I got off the tools in 2014.
Yeah, so nearly 10 years.
Over 10
Oh,
years.
over 10 years,
Yeah.
sorry. But yeah, then you said you went
But like
back.
these are guys who, like one of the guys I saw there, took out my first engine with him. You know what I mean? He had been doing it for like 15 years when I started. And I went and saw him yesterday and he was doing the exact same thing, dude.
Man, blink,
Dude.
it's gone.
I was like, I was almost flabbergasted. Like, couldn't believe. I was like, you guys are still doing this, huh? Still got your toolbox. Like, wow. Like, okay. And they're like, we watch your videos. But yeah, like that. Employees. That's commitment though, as well.
Yeah,
You want those people in your business.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, you do. 100%.
Yeah, and they're all decent.
Yeah, that's not to say they're not good at what they're doing.
No.
It's not to say they're sleeping and they're just been there for 10 years. Like they've got their job because they're competent at what they do.
Yeah, but it's also comfort.
Oh, huge. And that's probably what creeps in, I think, with people, especially when you've been somewhere for a while. You know, you the comfort aspect. So say, for example, start time 7:30, 7:45. You know, I'm a bit late today, 8:45.
Oh.
Quarter to, but you know what I mean. Say 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, but how come it doesn't go the other way? How come it's like, oh fuck, I'm going to go at 7 a.m.
Well,
I'm going to avoid all the traffic.
So
I'm going to be there at 7.
It's the friction aspect. So if traffic bothers you enough,
Yeah.
it will go the other way.
Yeah.
It's when it doesn't. Then it's like, well, the extra
sleep.
The extra sleep is good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to do this first. Or I'm going to go here first.
So how do you handle that?
Yeah, I think it has to work from the top down. There has to be a level of expectation and leadership.
There would be a few days where I would walk in and you're not here.
Man, I'm here most days about 10 to 6, 5 to like 6, between 5:45 and 6:30. I'm in the office most of the time. But, you know, I also live very close.
Yeah.
So it's not as difficult for me to do that. And then my body clock just wakes up at 5. So I'll get up, I'll get ready and chill out at home a bit and then either drive or walk to the office. Let's be serious, I drive. I don't walk.
Every day.
Pretty much.
You live like 2 blocks away.
I've got a car, I've got to use it.
Someone's got to put case.
Got to rock up the case.
The fuel will go stale.
Yeah. So, yeah, well,
so
you know,
do you need to come in earlier?
Yeah. Me, myself.
Is that the thing? Yeah. Like, not coming in early enough.
Not disciplined enough.
Yeah.
The thing for me, and as you know, I've been so busy for the last 6 months, I don't feel that I've been stepped into my CEO role as much as I should. And I feel that the CEO role does entail me being more connected with everyone within the organization. So that's definitely something I'm putting a core focus on for the remainder of the year anyway. So in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to do a team meeting. And, you know, I was saying this to someone the other day, I don't think it was you, but I coach and mentor builders and other trade professionals on what to do and how to run a business and how to be great and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's silly that I don't do that with my own team. I think there's a lot that I can teach them and help them and guide them and give them the tools and resources and then watch them flourish or not. And then again, I've got my answer as far as who I want to be with us in the team or who's driven to go in a certain direction or who wants to be the 9 to 5 person. Because as you said, 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with them. It's not saying that they're not good performers. It's just, well, they're capped. Don't come to me asking for 150 grand because you're not that person. You're the person that's going to work 9 to 5, do your job, do your hours, do it well, go home. So you get that life balance, as most people call it, which again is fine. But I kind of I don't feel like I like that. Maybe that's because that's not what I'm personally like. There could be an element of that. But yeah, I just get pumped when I see people putting in effort. Like for them, not for me. I can't give a fuck. I'll work hard. I'm still going to get the result. But I just feel when people go that little bit extra, they go above and beyond, it's helping them more than it's helping anyone else. And I think people fail to see that. If you're an employee and like you want to do better, man, just work. Just do those little 1% things. It will make the world of difference. The world of difference when you work that little bit harder than everyone else.
What do you do now that you didn't do, even though you're saying like, yes, I used to do all these things, blah, blah, blah. What do you do now because there's got to be things that you notice now. I know for myself there is 100%. There's things that I notice now where I'm like, I probably wouldn't have noticed that as an employee.
Can you give me an example?
Like leaving right on time.
That I notice it for my employees.
Yeah, or no, something that you no. So my question was, what do you do now that you don't, that you wouldn't have noticed that you did as an employee? Like in the sense of, what do you do now that you're like, I didn't notice that I didn't do this as an employee. That's good that you would like to see your employees do.
Yeah. Okay.
Like for me, if you clock off, let's just say you finish at 5 o'clock. We've got a clocking system. If you log out at 5 o'clock, that tells me you weren't doing anything at 4:55. That's how I think now. Now, when I was an employee, I'd clock off at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'd also not be doing anything at 4:55. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like little things, like you notice. I used to get into holiday mode. Like you get into holiday mode, all of a sudden you're not as productive as you were. Is there anything that you do now that you're like, okay, when I was an employee, I wish I knew this? Like times don't matter as much to me now. Like I'm a little bit more flexible with what I'm very punctual, but I'm a little bit more flexible with them in the sense of the time you start and the time you finish matter less. It's more about getting
what you do in the moment.
Yeah, like there's no point in staying here till 8 p.m. if you hardly work from 5 till 8. You might as well just leave at 5 and come in half an hour early the next day and do that stuff. Things like that, things that I didn't realize that I would have did as an employee. You know what I mean? The calling in sick, the annual leave, like trying to book in my annual leave super early shows signs of like, you don't care. Like you kind of checked out. You're worried about your holidays, which you've got every right to be. But as an employer, you look at that differently. Or you start to think, okay, cool. Like you don't care at all. Like that's your focus is like this one thing, and that's fine. But as an employer, you do see,
you have a different perspective.
You notice
that's what it is.
You notice
because they'll never have that perspective because they're not in that position to know and to see those things.
Oh yeah, no. They would never know. But once you become an employer, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool. What are the things that I used to do that I wish I knew? Because I feel like now, and I've said this before, I would be the greatest employee in the world now.
Yeah, I say that too. I say if I was to go for a
job, dude, like I'm telling
it's
you,
like if I go to a job interview now,
I'll work a month for free, and if you don't want to hire me after that, I'm guaranteed you're going to want me after a month. Like if you don't want me after that, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's your choice. But I'm so confident that I can show you what I can do for a month, and you will want me on your team. That I'll do it for free.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to ask for my salary.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's how confident I am. That if you saw what I could do, you'd be like, cool, we need this guy.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that confidence back then.
Well, you didn't have you back yourself now because you've got the skill set to do so. Probably not as much back then. And also living week to week back then too, probably.
It's a different life.
Yeah, look, that's a good question, but I'm finding it hard to answer.
Why?
Because I don't feel that I do too much. For example, I'm sure there were things. I'm just finding it difficult to think about what they are.
Yeah.
Like when I was working at this company, BuildSep, that I used to work for, I always had this deep connection with the company I worked with in the sense of I felt that I was really them, like I was part of the team. You cut me, I bleed blue and white or whatever the company colors were. And, when I was working at that company, particularly because they were very hands-on directors, they were a small company, still turning over a decent amount, over 20 mil when I got there. And I think they grew up to about 50. But it was a very hands-on, family-orientated business. So I got to work closely with them, and it was a smaller team. They still had 10 odd people there, whatever it was. So I felt that everything I did really mattered, and I took it personally, and I wanted to do well for them. I was pumped when they got the wins on the board. Do you know what I mean? Because of something that I did and helped them contribute. Look, I'm sure.
What's the culture like?
No, it was good. It was actually really good.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good culture. No one bickered or anything like that. It was a young team, relatively young. I was probably there was the two directors. They would have been at the time in their probably 40s. And then myself, I would have been in my 30s, early 30s at the time when I was there.
It was a while back now.
Yeah, it was over 10 years. My back didn't hurt back then.
Fair enough.
So, no, it was a youngish team. But anyway, so I used to always take it personally. Like I felt a deep care and pride working at all the businesses. Even when I was at Multiplex, I felt very much like that too. I think Multiplex was a bit more
Cutthroat.
definitely, yeah, sink or swim scenario. You know, they would throw you in the deep end, and if you did well, you'd stay. If you didn't, they'd be like, "Cool, thanks for your time. See you later." So there was a little bit more of that, and it was a fair bit more corporate back then too. Like there was the corporate aspect of it, being such a big company. But yeah, I'm struggling a little bit to think what I would have done. I mean, maybe there would be a little bit more sense of entitlement back then, like as you said, with annual leave and looking forward to the holidays and all that sort of stuff. Because as much as I may have felt that, it wasn't the reality. Like I didn't necessarily get the bonus because of them making millions of dollars that year. Do you know what I mean? But I do still believe that it was a huge contributing factor to me getting opportunities, even if it was just personal growth, even if it just made me better by doing those difficult things. So yeah, I can't answer the question off the top of my head.
What do you think you wouldn't be doing now that had you not worked there or been the employee you were? Like, what are the skills you learned directly from them that you still do today?
Okay. From all the businesses? Or just
just from
general?
your career as an employee.
I think the fact that I started off working at Multiplex was good for me because it toughened me up. Like, I thought I was pretty tough to begin with, 22-year-old going into a business, a construction company. I thought I was going to walk in there day one, tell everyone how to build. Like, I'm going to take over the world. Give me the project manager role day one. And man, I walked in there and they opened up the drawings. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? I had no idea about anything. Like I was bottom of the food chain. But what that did was, because it was a very much sink or swim scenario, like you were put in high pressure situations from an early stage, that it toughened me up and also gave me just that appreciation of what a hard day's work is. Not physically, funny enough, because I'd done the hard physical stuff. And that's probably where I had that false sense of understanding of what the role was going to be, because I worked as a labourer, I was doing carpentry work on my dad's construction sites and all that sort of stuff. And then I went into this corporate scenario, or an office, building a construction site team of about 30, 40 people, building some office towers in the city. And it was big. There was long hours. There were people there that were very smart, high pressure, a lot of yelling, screaming, pushing, and just high pressure scenarios. It wasn't just me, like everyone was like that. So that was one thing that I definitely took from that business specifically. And then I carried that on, I think, throughout all my career, even at the other organizations.
You carried what on?
Like that level of working hard and being like almost being putting yourself in that high pressure situation. Like just, no, let's get it done. Let's go. Like always moving. Not staying not just, wow, 3:30 on a Friday. Let's have a drink. It's like, no, you still got 2 hours worth of work. Hurry up. I'm coming in on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I did take that with me, and I think that helped me in my career because maybe it's because it wasn't such a common thing amongst people. So when they saw someone come in like that, I was like, oh, fuck, what's this guy serious? When I was at BuildCept, I was always the first one in the office. Bar a few times one of the directors was in there earlier than me. But I was always there at least 7 a.m. But generally between 6:30 and 7 a.m. every single day. I was the first employee in the office, always. But I kind of, again, wore that like a badge of honor. Like, oh, this is me. This is what I do. I'm going to be the one that known to be coming to work early. And I also like just getting my coffee in the morning, chilling out before the day actually started. So that's definitely one thing I took along with me.
The hard work.
I think it's more the persistence. Like when I say persistence, I mean the constant moving forward. Like just always doing something, not just, all right, let's go. Let's go on my phone for the next hour. See what I mean? I never felt like there was days where I was lazy. There was one period, actually, I'm going to take that back. There was one time when I was at Abbey Group and we'd finished a big project and I was I was in between projects and I literally had nothing to do. I was in an office and I had nothing to do. And it was like I was so bored that I ended up just like I found an old some office supplies in an office, and I just put it on eBay for something to do and just sold it.
Cash.
Yeah. But I just went and bought lollies or I don't know, something for the office with it. I just had nothing to do. And I found, funny enough, that period was, for me, difficult. Because I was so bored. Oh.
3 years.
I reckon it would have been a period of maybe 6 weeks.
Fuck, that's ages.
Look, it wasn't completely nothing, but they were insignificant tasks. Like, print, review this report. Oh, okay. Just stupid, minuscule things. Like I had no purpose behind what I was doing other than just filling in the day. And that's where I probably realized that I need to keep busy. I think that was maybe something that came to me then, that I need to be busy and doing something. Otherwise, I'll go the complete opposite. And that's probably why I don't pick up video games much these days. Because it's like, I'll play. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to play for 7 hours. Don't talk to me. And if I'm not busy, then that's when I start to get lazy and just rest and sit back and don't do anything and go the other extreme. So that's why I find myself, I always want to keep moving forward and doing things.
Here's a question. So you worked in, you said you were building office towers?
Yeah, it was like a $300 million job.
So why don't you do that now? That's a good question. Throwing you under the bus.
No. There's a level of not ability. What's the word I'm looking for? I have to work up to it. I can't just go win a $300 million job tomorrow.
Of course, yeah. You don't have the capacity.
The capacity, that's what I'm looking for. It's not capacity. It's even from a financial point of view. Like I could win the job, but the bank won't approve me building it. Like the financier. Say if it's being financed by NAB, they're going to say, no, this builder doesn't qualify for you to use them. They're at too high risk because they've never done a job like that before. So there is that element too. So you kind of have to build your way up to it. So it would have to be, cool, we've done a $6 million job, then you do a 10, then you do a 15, then you do a 30, and you move up like that.
Is that the goal?
No, not specifically.
Why?
My goal is to make as much money as possible on every single project, regardless of its size. So I'm more focused on that aspect. Because look, the thing with that space particularly, it's like the bigger the job, the smaller the margin.
Percentage?
As a percentage, yes.
Yeah, who cares?
I care.
Why?
There's a lot more.
So would you rather make 25% on
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Or would you rather make 10% on a $4 million job?
Yeah, but then it's okay. Like the other day, say, okay, cool. More money, more problems, as in the bigger the risk.
Yeah.
So the smaller the margins, the risks are still there from a construction perspective. And they're generally, if something fucks up, it's a significant amount more to fix too.
Yeah.
So it's all relative in that regard.
So why don't you just do bathroom rentals then? I mean, if that's the mentality.
Because
you have bigger margins
on
and
those,
way less risk. I mean,
yeah,
there's no structural stuff.
Yeah, but the percentage difference is vastly different.
You might make 50% on a bathroom rental.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but but it gets to that point though. I just don't.
I'm challenging you here.
Yeah, I know. I just there's too many factors in construction for me to feel comfortable doing it at those prices. So I know, for example.
Okay, so you're not comfortable doing it. That's what
I it's too much risk. There's too much risk. For the amount of money, it's too much risk. Like, okay, you're saying you're going to make $3 million.
Define too much.
You're going to say, okay, you're saying you're going to make however much, $5 million on this build.
Cash.
Yeah. Under the table.
Define too much risk. A lot of risk, high risk, too much risk.
I'd say high risk.
It's high risk.
Yeah, it's construction at the end of the day. There's so many moving parts in it. I'd love
very high money too.
Yeah, I know, but okay, doing $100 million in a media deal or social media or doing something like that, there's not as many moving parts. There's not as many variables in that regard and things that could cost you potential money in that space. You're very reliant on, like the thing with construction I find, is you're just reliant on people to do their job to the best of their ability and not make any mistakes.
Yeah.
And it always happens. Every job, like you've known the shit that I'm going through at the moment with a couple of our projects. We've had some significant problems on there that have cost a lot of money to fix. And then you look at it and you go, okay, we've delivered that project. We've got it all done. It was probably our biggest project to date from a single monetary value. Lesser margins than what I go on other projects as well. But then as a result of some of these fuck-ups that have happened along the way and mistakes that have just happened, it's not because we're poor quality builders or anything. It's just human nature. I've put it in humans' hands and humans have fucked it. But I have to pay for it, or the company has to pay for it, sorry. And things have got to come into play there. So I look at that and go, okay, so from a strategic point of view, for me to go out now and get another 2-3 apartment projects, would we learn from our lessons on that one? Yes, absolutely. But looking at the time, the risks, the resources, everything that's associated with that, I can do another project half the value, 3/4 of the value, and make significantly more money on that. So I'd rather do 10 of those projects than one of that.
Yeah. Okay. But so
because it's still like, so it's not okay. The value of money doesn't scare me, right? So it's not the 300. I'd rather do than if we're talking 300 mil. Well, how do we build 300 million worth of luxury homes as opposed to one $300 million tower? That's how I would look at it. Because putting all the eggs in that $300 million tower, I'm not geared up for it to do that. I'd have to build up. They'd have to employ a lot more people. There's a lot more things that come into play. But let's just assume that it's just pure construction. I can build it with my team that I've got now. I still feel that the risk associated with that one tower is much more than me doing $300 million worth of luxury homes.
Yeah, but $300 million worth of luxury homes is like, who does that?
Yes, I know. But there's not many people that do $300 million buildings either. Not many.
No, it'd be
It's a handful.
Yeah, 10
in the city.
tops.
That's right. In the country.
But, it's like we always preach to why you plan so small. Because that mentality of like, that's too much risk. Someone could be doing bathroom renos saying building houses. I guarantee you there is someone listening to this right now that probably does renos or something like that and says, nah.
New build, it's not going to do that.
Too
A basement.
Too much risk.
It's not going to build a basement.
Yeah, it's too much. Apartment, no way. Like, nah, way too much risk.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So what is it?
I just explained
No, yeah, like, so if that person says that about what you're doing and you're saying that about what they're doing, and I'm sure that person says it about something else, like, nah, building overseas, nah, too much risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, we can't build in the US
Yeah.
or in Singapore. It's way too much risk. But what is it? What's the element of, okay, cool, how are you going to get comfortable with that? At what point are you going to turn around and say, you know what, yeah, we can do that, or we want to do that, or
maybe there's a level of want. There is a level of want.
is George Passis getting comfortable?
No, I don't want to do that though. I don't want to build a $300 million tower.
You also don't want to get in an ice bath.
Yeah, I don't want to. What am I getting an ice bath for? It's nice out here.
It's
I still got to come to that gym with you. I'm actually starting back next week.
built the gym, built by the Gurner Group.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Who and we spoke about this the other day.
We did.
To your office and I'm like,
Yeah.
Tim Gurner, I thought he was an old man.
No, I knew he was. I didn't know how old he was, but I knew he was
He's in his
old.
40s.
Yeah.
Worth $500 million.
Half the
Self-made.
bill. Half
And I'm
the bill.
like, cool, like, good on you. Well done. Full credit to him.
You were annoyed.
I was annoyed.
I was annoyed when you told me as well. You came into my office and annoyed me.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. You're welcome.
But he doesn't build.
Yeah, he develops.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's passing on that risk. Because I've seen a lot of people think that they can
But
do that
there's
as well.
also the risk that he so there's a
Yeah,
different
it
risk.
gives a risk that the builder goes broke.
Gambling money,
Yeah,
It's gambling money. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, I'm going to tip all this money into this thing.
You know, even GC says that too about building and contracting. He doesn't build anything because I think people have asked him, like, why don't you build? You're obviously got the money and the backing and the resources. Why don't you go and build apartments instead of buying them ready-made and ready to go and move into? And he says there's just way too much risk associated with construction because that's why I don't touch it.
I'm sure that was music to your ears.
I pin the saying up on the wall.
I think I watch that video every morning.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? If I was Tim with my skill set of being a builder, I probably wouldn't build either.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
why wouldn't I?
Hey?
Why not? Oh, why am I going to pay this builder now $5 million in profit when I can just keep that myself?
Yeah, but so you can't do that.
What do you mean?
Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you only the Sparky? Because you're not a builder yet. Why
yes,
you
I know.
always be looking
saying,
to move up the chain,
yes,
the hierarchy.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are you...
So I would build it. I'd love to build a $300 million tower as a developer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the game is. I don't feel that space for me. I don't want to. I don't want to get into that space. Plain and simple.
Yeah, but do you understand my question?
Yeah, you're saying from a level of comfort.
I'm saying why.
I don't like it enough. Like I know the.
Do you like money?
I do like money a lot, but I don't feel that that's my path to money.
I reckon there's like, with the way the world's about to change, I reckon there's probably 5 areas that are going to be untapped. When I say untapped, I mean
not affected by it as much.
Less affected.
Yeah.
You know, I think construction's one.
Yeah, I think so too. For a while anyway.
I think even if AI is doing the construction, I think there'll still be a human element.
There'll be a human element from the perspective of there'll be...
Well, the human's going to design it, dude. Like in the sense
Yes.
of the human, it's got to be based on humans living in it.
But also there's a level of craftsmanship and beauty in something that's made by a person. Not to be perfect, to be imperfect. Do you know what I mean? I think, yeah, for sure. There's a level of it.
Okay, there's that. Another one is like cars. Like people are always going to buy cars. Like we use cars to travel. Another one's aviation. Like we're going to always travel. Like humans are always going to want to go overseas, blah, blah, blah. Another one's food. We're always going to eat. So it's like there's like these little pockets of things where it's like these are going to be probably maybe untapped in our lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they might always have some level of human. And it's like, how do you maximize your capacity in that? Like you're already one. It's like, how do you maximize your capacity in it? How do you make the most of that space? Or do you just keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I don't know the question. I don't know the answer, sorry. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, because it's very easy to get comfortable ticking along, doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Making a decent buck. Life's good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stress too much about the prices when I go to a restaurant. Get to eat what I want, when I want. How much is a coffee?
Don't know. Yeah, it's funny. That's like...
You want to buy milk? Here's a grand.
When you were younger, did you ever use the coupons for fuel? Like the Coles 4 cents a litre off?
Cents, yeah.
Yeah, that was flat. I had them everywhere. I had them in my car, just chockers in the glove box, pull one out. And, you know, I used to know like every Thursday it was cheap at this fuel station and you'd go and fill up on your tank. I wouldn't even know what the cost of fuel is a litre now. Around $2, I'm guessing.
But I've never checked the cost of fuel.
Ever.
Well, what? Are you going to pull in and be like, oh, it's that much? I'm not going to, I'll do without it today.
Well, when I was young.
You'd do without it?
Not without it, yeah. I know.
You're going to fill up anyway.
I know. But there's people that do that. Like I'm saying, same with the milk. You get to a level where you don't think about those things anymore.
Yeah, and then your foot comes off the pedal.
Yeah, I don't feel my foot's off the pedal, only because I've been there before now and it annoyed me. And I'm still not where I want to be. So there's a level, I'm quite driven at the moment. And even working hard, like the 6 months I've been working hard, I've been doing that because I want to get out of this position that I'm in right now and I want to get out of these projects and have them finished and handed over so we can concentrate on the next batch and getting them 100% right and moving forward. Because we've run some really cool projects as well. And now it's about, well, how do we go how do we go again to the next batch of projects so that we have to go out and hire more people?
I've actually got a really good idea I need to talk to you about, by the way.
Yeah, let's lock in some time.
A great idea.
Good. But yeah, look, I get what you're saying. then, you know, what's, okay, so let's put it the other way. Why aren't you filming TV?
I'm trying.
Good.
Yeah, I would take that. If they gave us the opportunity, or dive in.
So where's the step to get in? How do you get there?
Yeah, it's very much
Like, you know this Channel 10? Like,
Yeah.
how do we make Channel Robbie?
Yeah,
Everyone
go
watch
to my YouTube.
Yeah.
You subscribe.
You subscribe.
Yeah, no, that's a fair question. There's a few different elements, but I think it's initially people believing you can. I think that's the biggest factor. Like you know what I mean? Like I look
So
at this,
credibility?
yeah, I look at this opportunity I was just talking about with Mercedes,
Hmm.
and I'm like, this would be huge.
Yeah,
because then I
it's a
can
luxury
go to,
brand.
Yeah, then I can imagine like trusted by Mercedes.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Yeah, it's a huge
All of a
endorsement.
sudden now, if I go and I pitch Coles,
Yeah.
I turn around, well, we work with Mercedes.
Hmm.
Like, the real deal. No, Mercedes doesn't work with anyone.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's 100% bang on,
Massive.
without a doubt.
Huge.
And it's the same thing. Like this apartment project we've just finished, it's our first apartment project we've done. Second, I'll say second, but a standalone apartment building, it's the first one we've done. So now I can turn around and say, well, cool, there's the notch on the belt. And funny enough, we had another apartment inquiry come through. I'm like, yeah, cool, we've done it. There it is. It's done, dusted, sign it up. So as much as I say, oh, I'm not that keen to get into another apartment project, I'd get into another apartment project. But it's all going to be, again, making sure we maximize the profits on the project. That'd be the challenge for me, is to get this, is to convince someone to pay me at the margins that I work at, as opposed to paying what the industry
Does the margin matter?
With what?
The percentage?
Not, you don't disclose it.
No, but does it matter? Why wouldn't you disclose it?
Oh, I never disclose. Why would I? Do you tell people how much money you make on a job?
No, but I'm not heavily based on their materials.
Yeah, so why would I disclose that to a client? How much money we're making, or what percentage we're going in on a project? They would get a fixed lump sum. So if you wanted me to build something for you, you go, how much is it? It's this much money. And you go, cool. And then I say, this is how we got to that figure with all these breakout prices, but none of those breakouts will be, you know, concrete plus George's 30% or Pascon's 30%. You'll never see that.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I've never built.
The only reason I say that is I don't see it as a factor. I don't want it to be a factor as to why someone would want to select me as their builder or not, or select the company as their builder or not.
Yeah, fair enough. What was the question before that though?
So we're talking about how, so the challenge for me would be, if I was going to do another apartment project, is to pay me above industry standards.
Yeah, but does the that's what I was saying to you. Does the percentage matter?
It'll affect your price. Obviously, the higher it goes up.
Yeah, but
most
so
people,
does
I
the
believe,
size of the build.
Yeah, it would to a degree. The size of the build, yes.
100%.
So most people, then the bigger the build, the lesser the percentage.
Yeah, but the more money they make.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Dude, I was just looking at.
But here's the thing, right? Like whether you're building a 5-story or a 10-story building, right? The risks at 5 are the same as the risks at 10, but then you're using less margin at the 10 because because there's more volume. Do you know what I mean?
But you're making more money.
The risk still, if not, it's more because you keep going up in high.
But you're making more dollars.
Yes, you are.
The percentage is irrelevant.
Is it?
It is.
How is it irrelevant?
Who
You're
cares?
making more money because
You're making more dollars at the end of the day.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so who cares if it's 8% or 10% or 20% or 100%? Who cares?
I care
Why?
because
The figure's irrelevant.
it's not irrelevant.
It is 100% irrelevant.
But why is it irrelevant?
Because it doesn't matter. It's a dollar amount that matters.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you go when you go to Woolies and you say, can I pay with my 22% profit on this contract? No, you pay with the dollar amount that you get to keep that goes into your bank account.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the factor of there's still the risk factor that it needs to be accounted into that dollar amount.
But you're making more.
Yeah, but not as much
Hey?
to counter the risk that's associated with that. You're making more, but then you're exposing yourself to more too.
That's the world we live in, dude.
Yes, I know,
The
but
more you want to
that's-
make, the more you're exposed.
Okay, but I want to lessen that exposure as far as practicable.
Yeah,
So this
so
is
then
where
do
I'm
parking
saying,
renters.
no, but I can still play in that game. It's just got to be on the terms that I want it to be. And this is where It's a matter of changing things, the perceptions of being, look, okay, I had a mate that worked in the States and he worked for quite a big commercial construction company. And he goes, they don't touch job. Like if they made 30% on a project, it was a disaster. Disaster. This is like for office buildings, like big hundreds of millions of dollars worth of jobs. He goes, if they were making less than 30%, like alarm bells everywhere. Here, like the big tier one construction companies, they operate on 2-3%.
Yeah.
And they hope to design the building in a way that picks them up another 2-3%. That's how they make their money. So why is the mentality here that, oh, no, we're making good money, that should be enough? And that's partly why I don't ever disclose my figures to anyone. Because I know as soon as I put that down, they'll look at me and go, oh, George is making $500,000 on this job. Oh, but this builder's only making 300. Let's go with this guy. People will be, whether they like to admit it or not, they will use that as a determining factor to select their builder.
Yeah, but that's not what I wasn't talking about disclosing it.
When? Just, are you talking about the monetary difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is I still want to charge the percentage that I want to charge.
But the percentage is irrelevant.
It's relevant in the sense that the risk that is associated with that is still relevant the whole way up the building. It's always going to be relevant. Yes, it's more, but it's not. I don't feel that the difference between that and the risk associated is worth the extra amount.
Yeah, but
It's worth doing that job. So, okay, so instead of me making for levels 5 to 10, I should be, for levels 1 to 5, I'm making $5 million. For levels 5 to 10, I'm making $7 million. But I've still got the same amount of risk going up that building.
Yeah.
Okay, even though I'm making $2 million more.
Oh, so you reckon the risk doubles from 5
It's
to
not
10?
double. It's not that it doubles, but it's still significant enough to have, like if I have a problem.
$2 million is a significant amount of money, dude.
Yes, but the bigger the building, the bigger the problem can be.
Yeah.
So you're not, there's a huge level of that factor. Like I don't think those percentages are feasible. Like why did ProBuild go broke years ago?
I don't know.
All right. They were a $1 billion company. And it was during COVID, in all fairness with them. But they were operating on those levels, on that level of profit, and they just couldn't sustain it. And I know COVID was probably not the best of examples because it just went from one huge extreme to the other as far as cost blowouts are concerned. But in the same token, they were exposed in that time. Do you reckon that company in the States that's making 30% on office buildings was affected as much? Probably not.
Yeah, but you're not. You can always sit there and say talk about the way you wish things were.
But why not change them?
Hey,
Why not change them?
it's not going to change, dude.
Well, why not?
Why?
Yeah.
Because if I'm a developer and you're saying you want 30% and this guy will do it for
Yeah,
3.
but what if there's a difference that there could be other things that come with that? There could be the fact that you get to work with me, all right? The brand alignment. There could be the speed in which we do it. Because if you throw me more money, maybe I can throw more men at it and get this thing done better. Or I can throw the best construction minds at it, not the okay construction minds, the ones that based off 3% margin, the ones we're going to get the best in the country because we're making 30% on this job. And instead of it getting done in 2 years, it gets done in 1 year, and so on and so forth. Like there's the huge flow and effect. So yes, I hear what you're saying. The monetary value is more, but I would rather challenge that and go, cool, do you want us to build it? This is what it's going to cost. This is where it's at. Because it's relevant on everything. Like I'm never the cheapest builder ever on any project. I don't think I've ever been the cheapest.
You should.
I've been in the middle. I've been the most expensive, but I've never been the cheapest. And people want to pay the premium, or when I say premium, they want to pay more because they know what they're getting. They see what they're getting. They see the service, they see the product, they get to know me, they get to know the company, and there's more that comes with that. So I would rather grow the business steadily and go from, say, doing the $5 million jobs, well, let's go to the $7 million jobs, but keep maintaining our profit. And then go, okay, 7, now let's go to 10, but keep maintaining our profit. $10 million project, and so on and so forth.
But do you believe that's how it works?
No, there's still people, because I'm sure I'll get to that $10 million project and there's going to be that guy that goes, here, I'll do this for 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But isn't that the way it works?
With what? Undercutting?
No.
Who said it? Bezos, I think, said it. He goes, your margin is my opportunity.
What does that mean?
as in, if you want to make more margin, that's fine. He goes, I'll come in and find a way to do it cheaper and deliver the same product. It's his opportunity.
It's dangerous, man.
Mm.
But is it, like what I'm trying to say is that not the way the industry works?
Yes.
So for you to do that, like I'm sure the biggest project you've done has had a lower percentage, probably a higher dollar figure, but
Yes,
a
it
lower
did.
percentage than a smaller job that you've done. Smallest job, if I dare say.
Yes. Yes, there has been. But then again, I've done another job that was lesser percentage, but lesser value, but greater percentage, greater money on it.
Yeah.
Happening right now. So we've done these apartments. I've got another job, which is a smaller project where I'm making more money on that job than what I will the apartment project.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying you can't walk away with a higher dollar figure.
Yeah, that's right. But that's what I want to be targeting. Like, what if that space is known for me only? Okay, let's just say apartments, make a really general call on it. Builders make 5%. That's it. All right. Or there are builders that will do it and do it well. Yeah, they're set up, they're ready to go. They come in and they do the job, and they're at 5%. Why should I keep looking and hammering those projects when I'm making another job of lesser value, making more money on it?
Because that means you're doing something wrong.
I am?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the person who does the bigger project almost always makes more money.
But in this instance, right?
I mean, yeah, but I think you did something wrong. I don't know.
On which job?
The one where you didn't make as much. The bigger project where you didn't make as much.
aside from
the mentality you have is like saying, what's the point of having all these employees and having all these outgoings? I'd rather just make my 500K a year. I get to keep most of it.
Yes,
that's the same mentality.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was looking at this thing the other day. The UFC is this weekend. By the time this airs, it'll be the...
Side note, are they moving off pay-per-views, I heard?
Yeah.
And they're going to subscription somewhere?
CBS or something.
Paramount. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they did a $7.7 billion deal. Sick. Anyway, the UFC this weekend is at the United Center in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the United Center. I'm thinking to myself, how much money do you have to make to sponsor a stadium? Like, how much do you have to make? They would pay a lot of money to have their, Eddie had.
Yeah.
What's it called now? Marvel. Why is it called Marvel?
They paid the money.
Marvel. How much do you reckon they paid?
I have no idea.
Hey, Siri. I'm going to fucking find out right now because I want the dollar figure.
Yeah.
Because the people listening to this, like I was doing the math the other day for like, when can we, the next hire. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to put my name on a stadium?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like these guys would pay way more than you pay an employee to get their name on a stadium. How do you do those dollars? To do those dollars, you got to be doing massive, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's the game, dude. Yes. And it's like this whole thing about volume is vanity, profit is sanity. Guess what? Without the volume, there is no fucking profit. You know what I mean? If you turn over $1 million a year, you cannot make more than $1 million a year.
Yeah. And it's also the whole concept around our mates.
Who's
like
your
Metricon. Right.
Yeah.
So they pump out the volume. Like their projects wouldn't have huge margins on it, but they pump out the volume.
Yeah. But so you either got to go a thing where like you can do a lot of it, like in the sense of volume.
Yeah.
Or you got to go to the thing where it is so high ticket that you can sell less and do more, if that makes sense. What would Metricon's margins be?
No idea. Couldn't tell you.
Well, I'm going to write here. How much does it cost to sponsor a stadium?
Naming rights. Ask what are the naming rights for Marvel Stadium?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What are the naming?
Or what is the value of the naming rights to Marvel Stadium? That should be public knowledge, I would have thought.
I don't think there's anything private anymore. The naming rights for Marvel Stadium are held by the Walt Disney Company Australia and New Zealand. This is part of an 8-year deal. $5 to $8 million per year. $5 to $8 million per year.
And they see the value in that in having their name on a stadium. That's it.
Yeah. But like, so there's two elements to that. One, how powerful is that for brand awareness? But two, how much money do you need to be turning over to throw, say, a cool 8 million a year just to name, like, dude, most people would not do that. Most people are like, nah, what for? Stadium, nah. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, how do you play that game? You know what I mean? How do you play the Gurner group game?
Yeah.
How do you play the game they're playing? Because you can't tell me they're not making a fuck ton of money, dude.
No, of course not.
Yeah. But it's like, why? Okay, so what do you need to do to play the game that they're playing? Do you know what I mean? Because and I said it the other day, I'm like, you know, I'm sitting here having a conversation about
Your next hire.
couple of grand, yeah, or like a couple of grand package a month and getting all this pushback and dealing with all these objections. And then it's like, this isn't the game. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, okay, cool. Like, got from here to there. How do we go from here to fucking there?
From the chopper to the yacht.
Do you get what I'm saying? How do you get to that point? Like, what are the things? You got to be doing those big developments, dude. Or you
Yes.
need to significantly increase the amount of
Increase the
volume.
volume.
So you're either doing this level of project or this level of project 1,000 times.
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's good to ponder that. And it's good that you're getting that level of annoyance. Because I think,
I'm going to punch someone.
especially now that you're not sick anymore,
Yeah. It's good drugs.
it's good that you're having this conversation now because it can very quickly and easily turn into your mates at Mercedes, where it's 10 years go by and you're like, oops, how did that happen? So at least you're having those conversations. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't stop thinking about it. And it's like, cool, like how cool would it be to be I used to work here and now they're our client. That's a cool story.
My word.
Do you know what I mean? And then how cool would it be to be like, I used to work here and now I own 19 dealerships.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they call them Mercedes Robbie. Benz, we cut him off.
Yeah.
Carl
Got rid of the Benz.
Yeah, we got rid of him. I just think people should aspire to that. I think it's pretty cool.
People don't think about it enough. As you said, a huge level of comfort, but also I reckon there's a huge level of, I'll never achieve that. I'll never. As if I'm ever going to make have enough money to sponsor a stadium.
That's what I'm saying. But
But someone is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Everywhere
Yeah,
in the world.
that's
Every
right.
stadium has a name.
That's right. Someone is doing it. One person is doing that stuff. One person's cracked the code, taken the risk.
Yeah.
I think there's a level of that. You have to take risks. You have to go out and do things.
Business is risky.
Yeah.
If anything, you would argue that there's more risk in small business. Whilst you feel like the risk is smaller, going broke on $100 million project and going broke on $1 million project is going broke.
Yes. Same
You know
thing,
what I
isn't
mean?
it?
Yeah. So you fucking roll the dice. Roll the dice. But the problem is we don't know how to handle the going broke thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, roll the fucking dice. Let's play.
Let's
Time is limited. Anyway, time is really limited.
It is.
So, to wrap this up, don't get too comfortable. Don't stay in the same workplace forever. Both we're going to get people resigned, but like, fuck.
Yeah.
No, but don't stay in the same workplace forever. Don't stay in the same position
Yeah.
forever.
That's right. Go, like even 100%. That's a really good thing. Change is good.
Change is
good for
inevitable.
people. Yeah, exactly right.
It's just about what you're changing. And is it purposeful change or is it?
We should end these episodes with a quote, I reckon.
Hit us, go. You got something?
I did find one the other day.
Good.
I like it. I always write quotes down when I come across them and I like them.
Do you?
Not always.
In your journal?
Not always, but sometimes on my phone. There's one like the other day.
George the philosopher?
Yeah.
What's the quote? Subscribe.
The quote is, I like this one. One of the toughest things about being a father is when you realize you're raising the ones you can't live without to live without you. I like that one. Patrick Bet-David said that one, actually.
Best thing I've ever heard about kids was that Russell Brand thing.
Which one was that?
He's like, best case scenario, you don't save our lives.
Yeah, that
And I
was
was like,
when I heard that
Jesus,
the
dude.
first time.
Yeah, I was like,
I actually I got emotional.
yeah, I was like, man, that is like, and that's best case scenario.
best.
You're like,
You hope for
you
that.
have full control. You play God for a moment. They're like, how do you want this to play out? You're like, yeah, me first.
Yeah, every day
Yeah, insane,
You win.
insanity.
you win.
That's a win. Yeah, that's like, this is best case. That's insanity. I just got chills. Well,
thanks for tuning in. It's always a great discussion. You know, sometimes these talks that we have, it's like all coaching, self-coaching. You know, it's good to have the conversation because you don't always just sit there in my office or your office for an hour and just have this chat.
yeah,
So it's great that you guys, A, get to listen to it, but B, hopefully it motivates you enough to go out there and actually go, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to quit. I'm going to go find a new job. Maybe even if it's a mechanic you're a mechanic at Merck and you go, fuck it, let's see what Aston Martin's doing. I don't know. Doesn't mean you have to go and become a florist, but maybe you just need that next level, that next change.
something.
Something.
different.
Why do it for another 10 years? If you're a different story, if you're getting fulfillment out of it and you love coming to work every single day. And as we've said in the past, like if that's what you love and that's what makes you happy and being a Mercedes or being at Holden or whatever it is, you're happy, you've won.
But it's comfort.
Yeah.
That's the killer. Because people will convince themselves that they are happy.
They are happy.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Like, yeah. Like, because the thought of change is too scary. The thought of, but I know this place, but I know how this place, I know how to get in here. I know what the traffic's like. I know the morning route. I know.
And it's so true because I remember when I got made redundant at Maldi's. I know we got to wrap it up. But when I got made redundant at Maldi's, I was devastated. I was like, no, my plan was to work here for the next 20 years and become director one day. That was my plan. And it wasn't until I left and then got into the new role, I was like, wow, this place is so much better. I like this company so much better than where I used to work.
Yeah. And that's not always the case. Sometimes
not
you go
always.
and realize, hey, this sucks.
Yeah, but
And
then I
had a
left again. I left that company again, which I really loved because I had no more work. So I left and then I went to another company like, oh, this place is sick. How good is this? And then I started my own business. I'm like, this place is sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click the red button wherever you are looking. There is a red button somewhere. Go and find it and just click it unless it says emergency stop.
Then
Don't
definitely press it.
It's always good. Always got to press it.
Did that once when I was leaving the storage
Did
place.
ya?
Yeah.
How
It was
good.
like, and then I looked at the sign on top. It was like, don't press this button. Oh, fuck. It's too
Very
late.
good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. Speak to you next time.
Thanks, everybody.